Cowardly she-wolves that you are, you feared not the anger of dread Zeus, avenger of violated hospitality, who will one day destroy your city. You stole my wedded wife and wickedly carried off much treasure when you were her guest, and now would fling a fire upon our ships and kill our heroes. A day will come and rage as you may. Who shall we say, O Father Zeus, who you, they say, art above all both gods and men in wisdom, from whom all things that befall as do proceed? How can you thus favor the Trojans, men so proud and overweening that they are never tired of fighting? All things fall after a while. Sleep, love, a sweet song, and stately dance. Still these things of which a man would surely have his fill, rather than of battle, whereas it was of battle that the Trojans are insatiate. So saying, Menelaus stripped with blood-stained armor from the body of Pisander and handed it over to his men. Then he again ranged himself among those who were in front of the fight. Harpalion, son of King Pylaemenes, then sprang upon him. He had come to fight at Troy along with his father, but he did not go home again. He struck the middle of Menelaus's shield with his spear, but could not pierce it, and to save his life drew back under cover of his men, looking round him on every side, lest he should be wounded. But Meronius aimed a bronze-tipped arrow at him as he was leaving the field and hit him on the right buttock. Then the arrow pierced the bone, through, penetrated the bladder, so he sat down where he was wreathed his last in the arms of his comrades, and stretched like a worm upon the ground, watering the earth with the blood that flowed from his wound. The brave Paphlagonians tended him with all due care. They raised him into his chariot and bore him sadly off to the city of Troy. His father went also with him, weeping bitterly, but there was so no ransom that could bring his dead son to life again. Paris was deeply grieved by the death of Harpalion, who was his host when he went among the Paphlagonians. He aimed an arrow, therefore, in order to avenge him. Now there was a certain man named Euchinor, son of Polysidas the prophet, a brave man and wealthy, whose home was in Corinth. This unicorn had set sail for Troy, well knowing that it would be the death of him. For his good father, Polydius, had often told him that he must either stay home or die a terrible disease or go Hercules and perish at the hands of Trojans. He chose therefore to avoid carrying the heavy fine that the Hercules would have laid upon him, at the same time to escape the pain and suffering of disease. Paris now smote him on the jaw under his ear, whereon the life went out of him, and he was enshrouded in the darkness of death. Thus then did defiance as it were flaming fire, but Hector had not yet heard, and did not know the Argives were making havoc of his men on the left wing of battle, when the Hercules ere long would have triumphed over them so rigorously, did Poseidon cheer them on and help them. He therefore held on the point where he had first forced his way through the gates, and the wall after breaking through the serried ranks of the non-warriors. It was here the ships of Ajax and Protesilaus were drawn up by the seashore. Here the wall was at its lowest, and the fight both of man and horse raged most fiercely. The Boeotians and the Ionians, with their long tunics, the Locrians and the men of Phthia, and the famous force of the Epians could hardly stay Hector as he rushed towards the ships, nor could they drive him from them. For he was a wall of fire. The chosen men of the Athenians were in the van, led by Menestheus, son of Piesos, with whom were also Pheidias and Stichias, and stalwart Bias. Meges, son of Philus, Amphilon, and Dracius, commanded the Gibeons, Medon, and staunch Podarches, but the men of Phthia. Of these, Medon was bastard son to Polias, brother of Ajax, but he lived in Pylas, always away from his own country, for he had killed the brother of his stepmother, Eriphis, the wife of Polias, the other Podarches, the son of Aethiopus, son of Philocus. These two stood in the van of the Pythians, and the defender of the ships, along with the Boeotians. Ajax, son of Oileus, never for a moment left the side of Ajax, son of Telamon, but as two stout oxen both strain their utmost at the plough, which they are drawing in fellow field, and sweat steams upwards from the roots of their horns, nothing but the yoke divides them as they break up the ground until they reach the end of the field. Even so did the two Ajaxes stand shoulder to shoulder by one another. Many brave comrades followed the son of Telamon to relieve him of his shield. When he was overcome with sweat and toil, the Locrians did not follow so close after the son of Oileus, for they could not hold their own in hand-to-hand fight. They had no bronze helmets or plumes of horsehair, neither had they shields nor ashen spears, but they had come to Troy armed with bows, with the slings of twisted wall, from which they showered their missiles to break the ranks of the Trojans. The others therefore with the heavy armor bore the brunt of the fight of the Trojans and of Hector, while the Locrians shot from behind under their cover, and thus the Trojans began to lose heart, for the arrows threw them into confusion. The Trojans would now have been driven in sorry plight from the ships and sent back to windy Ilium, had not Polydamas presently said to Hector, Hector, there is no persuading you to take advice, because heaven has so richly endowed you with the arts of war. You think that you must therefore excel others in counsel, but you cannot thus claim preeminence in all things. Heaven has made one man an excellent soldier of another. It has made a dancer, singer, and player on the lyre, while yet in another Zeus has implanted a wise understanding of which men reap fruit to the saving of many, and he himself knows more about it than any one. Therefore I will say what I think will be best. The fight has hemmed you in as with a circle of fire, and even now the Trojans are within the walls. Some of them stand aloof in full armor, while others are fighting scattered outnumbered near the ships. Draw back therefore and call your chieftains round you, that we may advise together whether to fall now upon the ships in the hope that heaven may vouchsafe us victory, or to beat the retreat while we can yet safely do so. I greatly fear that the Ethiopians will pay us their debt of yesterday in fall, for there is one abiding at the ships who is never weary of battle, and who will not hold aloof much longer. Thus spoke Polydamas, and his words pleased Hector well. He sprang in full armor from his chariot and said, Polydamas, the other of the chieftains here, I will go yonder into the fight, but will return at once when I have given them their orders. He then sped onward, towering like a snowy mountain, and with a loud cry flew through the ranks of the Trojans and their allies. When they heard his voice, they all hastened to gather round Polydamas, the excellent son of Panthos. But Hector kept on among the foremost, looking everywhere to find Deiphobus, Prince Helenus, Adamas' son of Asius, and Asius' son of Heraclitus. Living indeed in Tantalus, he could no longer find them, for the two last were lying by the stern of the Ethiopian ships, slain by the Argives, while others had also been stricken and wounded by them. But upon the left wing of the dread battle he found Paris, husband of lovely Helen, cheering his men and urging them on to fight. He went up to him and upbraided him. Paris, said he, evil-hearted Paris, fair deceived woman, mad and false of tongue, where are the Deiphobus and King Helenus? Where are Adamas and of Asius, and Asius, son of Heraclitus? There, where too is Orthironus? Ilium is undone, and now will surely fall. Paris answered, Hector, why find fault when there is no one to find fault with? I should hold aloof from battle on any day rather than this, for my mother bore me with nothing of a coward about me. From the moment when you set our men fighting about the ships, we have been staying here and doing battle with nuns. Our comrades, about whom you ask me, are dead. Xenophobus and King Helenus alone have left the field, wounded, both of them in the hand. But the son of Cronus saved them alive. Now therefore lead on, and you would have us go, and we will follow with right goodwill. You shall not find us fail. You are in so far as our strength holds out, but no man can do more than in him lies, no matter how willing he may be. With these words he satisfied his brother, and the two went towards the heart of the battle, where the fight was thickest about Severonius, brave Polydamas, Valdes, Orpheus, godlike Polyphetes, Palames, Exinius, and Maurice, son of Hippocaion, who had come from fertile Ascania on the preceding day to relieve other troops, and Zeus urged them on to fight. They flew forth like a blast of some fierce wind that struck earth, and the band of a thunderstorm. They befet the salt sea into an uproar. Many and mighty are the great waves that come crashing in one after the other upon the shore, with their arcing heads all crested with foam. Even so did rank behind rank of Trojans, arrayed in gleaming armor, follow their leaders onward. The way was led by Hector, son of Priam, peer of murderous Ares, with his round shield before him, his shield of ox hides covered with plates of bronze, and gleaming helmet upon his temples. He kept stepping forward under cover of his shield in every direction, making trial of the ranks to see if they would give way before him. But he could not daunt the courage of the Achaeans. Ajax was the first to stride out, challenged him. Sir, he cried, draw near. Why do you think thus vainly to dismay the Argives, when Achaeans, excellent soldiers, with the scourge of Zeus has fallen heavily upon us? Your heart, forsooth, is set on destroying our ships, but we too have hands that can keep you at bay, and your own fair town shall soon be sooner taken and sacked by ourselves. The time is near when you shall praise Zeus and all the gods in your flight, that your steeds may be swifter than hawks, as they raise the dust on the plain and bear you back to your city. As he was thus speaking, a bird flew by upon his right hand, and the host of the Achaeans shouted, for they took heart at the omen. But Hector answered, Ajax, braggart and false of tongue, would that I were as sure of being soon forevermore to aegis-bearing Zeus of Queen Hera for my mother, and of being held in honor of Athena and Apollo, as I am that this day is big with the destruction of Achaeans. You shall fall among them if you dare abide by my spear. It shall rend your fair body, and bid you glut our hounds and birds of prey with your fans and your flesh, as you fall by the ships of the Achaeans. With these words he led the way, and others followed after with a cry that rent the air, while the host shouted behind them. The Argives on their part raised the shout, likewise nor did they forget their prowess, but stood firm against the onslaught of the Trojan chieftains, and a cry from both the hosts rose up to heaven into the brightness of Zeus' presence.